Well, I've got a poem from back then, and it's called Make Up Your Mind. Now, the concept of this poem is that it's a man and a woman on the verge of going out for the evening. Now, it's obviously based on science fiction, the stuff that never really happens, because in this story, he's ready first, okay? And then she's still getting dressed. We know that in real life, women are always ready on time. You guys are known for that, famous worldwide. So, yes, in the science fictional tale, he's ready first and she's getting ready. And now, this is the conversation that they have. She said, "How come you never take off your ties?" I said, "Because you never take off your lies. Wake up, you're fine. You only need to make up your mind." She said, "I get that you're the poet here, but allow me to break down my make-up philosophy. I wear it because being colorless means being plain old black and white. And those two extremes are simply too extreme for me. So why don't you, Mr. Poet, tell me something philosophical about looks?" I told her, "Look, if it's philosophy you want, you should really be about books. But okay, I'll buy it. For me, it seems pretty apparent that to you, colorless really means transparent. That more than a disdain for being plain behind color, you seem to find a cloak for your pain." She says nothing to object, but allows me to stand there and witness her process. So she stands on the foundation of the sculpture that she's making to base herself on it. A little embarrassed that I can see all this, she brushes her cheeks with blushes. She's sweet, but even in this she lacks honesty, because her blush is paradoxically some permanent shade of 12-hour modesty. Unburdening herself of the epiphany she keeps in the bags under her eyes, they shadow like they're hiding the light of her soul behind thunderous skies. And then she grabs that pencil and lines them up to that ideal image in her mind she struck, and the lengthened lashes of her mascara help her to ignore the mass scarring of her soul, so that off the top of her head she's retelling her tale, but it's just starring the highlights. Her red lips stick together as though joined in agreement that they'll never spill the secret of who she really is. She forgot the concealer, but at this point doesn't really see the need. So, nearly ready to leave, but now, like she's looking for lost change, she's rummaging through her brassiere, searching for leverage against the world, and settles on her cleavage, finding the idea most strange that someone might cleave to her without it. So that even while her push-up bra buoys her memory glands, my memory hands me images of a time when she was as simple to read as black ink on white paper. She was a picture whose texture had a uniform feel, but she's pushed up out of my reach on her platform heels. She's done. She's made up a fairy tale. And this construct of her imagination says, "Tell me I'm beautiful." To which I respond, "If the eyes are the window to the soul, then I am a disappointed peeping Tom, because I have been keeping warm off the heat yours generates like a supernova's best, and I return to tell you that you, ma'am, with your colored contact lenses, have a soul which is slightly overdressed. But you're beautiful, and have been so from the beginning. Not the first time a man told you how deep his desire was to hold you, but the very beginning. Not when your body first split from prepubescence to adolescence and time chose you to feed new essence, but the very beginning when you, and I know that it's odd, my dear, but it goes back to when you were truer than Athena springing from Zeus's head. You were God's idea. A prime example of his penmanship. A poem pitted to parade his workmanship. And as you go through the motions from fetal position to fatal position, your entire biography has been written in the flawless tip of his endless calligraphy. That's your spirit, the mind you taint, and the body you paint. So wake up, you're fine. You only need to make up your mind." So you're saying I should take it off? No, keep the colors, I like them. I'm saying that the human vessel is inherently imperfect, so that maybe she's born with it, maybe you need to take care, love the skin you're in. You're both worth it, as long as the option is open and the potion is potent. Sip slow, but when the years make their mark, don't let it break your heart, just say amen to the omens. But if you insist on battling these 7 signs of aging, please remember the time lining your face is only making your story more worth the paging. That crow's feet and laughter lines are in the nature of a human being, and they only serve as evidence that you have lived, that you have breathed, that you have been. "Tell me I'm beautiful," she asks. I wish she understood that she's amazing with or without the masks, that there's nothing I can say or do to add to or take from it. "So what is your problem with it?" she finally spurts. It's not the makeup I mind. It's just alarming to find that many who wear it are blind to the fact that that which has the power to attract lies not in the face but in the makeup of the mind. You see, beauty is an altar before which we all go, but as you approach his throne, bring small sacrifices. Change your face, but don't alter your ego. And when you wake up, you'll find you only needed to make up your mind.